This is Tim Tucker, AE6LX with WorldwideDX.com. Today we're taking a look at the new FCC approved TIDRADIO TD-H8. This has been approved for both GMRS use and ham use. And we'll talk a little bit about how you can switch them between both of those services in a few seconds. But since we're talking about the FCC approval here, I'll show you, there is the FCC ID right there. About a year ago, TIDRADIO contacted me to test out this radio. It was in beta stage, along with the OD Master software that is available for both Apple and Google phones, to give them feedback about what I thought, give it a shakedown, test bugs. I gave them plenty of feedback about things I liked, things that needed work in the software, etc. And now the radio is shipping, available for general use, as I said earlier, FCC approved. This is a 10-watt radio, which was what the first thing that caught my attention was. I was a little bit skeptical about whether it would really do 10 watts on the high power setting. So one of the very first things I did was I hooked it up to my bird watt meter here. I have both a 400 megahertz slug and a slug that covers the 2 meter range into a dummy load, and I tested it out. Sure enough, it puts out every bit of 10 watts on both the 440 band and also the 2 meter band. So that was a nice surprise. The radio ships with the package you see here: belt clip, the battery, antenna as you expect, an extra higher gain, longer antenna, a nice handheld mic. The package that I got also has an extra battery. One thing neat about these batteries is they are now charged with a USB-C. So the USB-C port is right there on the battery, so if you have an extra battery, you can charge the battery while you're using the other one in the radio. This package came with 2 batteries. It also comes with a little 5-volt USB-C charger. It does not work with PD USB-C power delivery ports. If you try to plug it into one of those ports, it'll do nothing. If you plug it into a regular USB-A 5-volt charger, it'll charge just fine. The radio comes with Bluetooth. There's a Bluetooth button right here. This is nice. You can turn it on and off to save battery. This Bluetooth only works with the OD Master software for your phone. Now that software is really pretty convenient. It allows you to have your phone. You can save code plugs in the cloud. You can save them for available cache them for offline use. If you travel, it'll take a look at the repeaters that are around you, so you can add them to different memory slots, and then write the radio. You can have different versions. The other day I programmed one for all the VHF marine frequencies, because I was going out with my friend in his boat out in the San Pedro and Long Beach Harbor to do a little fishing, so I programmed all the GS marine channels up there along with some of my favorite ham channels, frequencies, and it was a snap just to load them up and come home and load all my regular frequencies back in. This radio is IP65 rated, which means it will take splashes of water, things like that. Again, I just had it on the boat. We got soaking wet, didn't have a problem. It functioned just fine, just as normally. Now, IP65, you can't submerge it in water and expect it to function, but the spray from the boat and the salt water, it worked just fine. Didn't have an issue with it. The menus and functions on this radio are very easy to use. One of the easiest, inexpensive radios I probably have ever used. The menus make sense. There's a few things here and there you need to look up in the manual for. It has all the basic features you'd expect. Scanning of memory channels, scanning of the VFO frequencies, scanning for DCS or CTS tones, all that stuff. It's got plenty of memories. It has soft function buttons you can program to do different things. If you just tap it or hold it, flashlight on top. This button is programmable as well. Now let's talk about the frequency range that this radio is capable of. It has 3 modes that you can program it. You can do it on the front of the radio by turning it off and holding the push to talk, and depending on which of these buttons you press on the side, it will ask you if you want to set the radio for GMRS mode, ham mode, or completely unlocked. When you do that, it's going to reset the radio, your frequencies, I'm sorry, your memories, so you want to make sure you have those saved off somewhere. When you set it to GMRS mode, you can still set the VFO to listen to whatever frequencies in the frequency range of the radio, but it will only transmit on the approved GMRS frequencies, and it sets the power limits available for those as well. Ham mode does exactly what you'd expect. The band edges for 2 meter and 440 are the FCC band edges. When you do it unlocked, it completely unlocks the radio for transmit and receive from 136 to 174 and 400 to 520, similar to other radios like this in the market. It does have a FM radio built in if you want to use it for just listening to FM broadcast radio. Overall, it's a pretty rugged radio. I've been using this for a while. I really like the fact that you can use the OD Master software to add stuff in on the fly. The OD Master software is not the most sophisticated piece of software for doing mass imports and exports of frequencies and things like that. So you can use Chirp. This is a standard Kenwood plug, so like a Baofeng programming cable works fine if you want to use Chirp to do that type of programming. So what I recommend is use Chirp to do things like mass import exports. You can use the OD Master web app to load those in, and then once it's on the web app, you can have access to it through your phone app. You create a login, a profile, and then you can program it that way in the field. So that's pretty much it. It's a nice radio. It really is 10 watts. That's very surprising. Very easy to use. And the audio reports that I'm getting from the locals is that it's really pretty good. There's a secret menu that's only available through programming, either OD Master Chirp, something like that, which is the mic gain setting. As of right now, there's no mic gain setting accessible from the menu here. But yeah, I set it about 2/3 of the way up, and the reports that I get from folks are the audio sounds just great. So that's pretty much it. The TIDRADIO TD-H8, nice little radio. Use it for multiple purposes. Under $100 as of the time of shooting this video. A rugged little radio, and might be something you might want to think about. Full 10 watts. This is 86LX from worldwidedx.com.